name's Sophia Bonani. I'm 19 and I'm a female.
Okay. So do you have a skincare routine?
Not necessarily. It's very loose, but I do use the Clarisonic when I can.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. Do you like that?
Yeah, I do like it because I feel like it really cleans like this part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the crevices.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like to use that because the city air is pretty gross, so it really cleans it out.
Where'd you get the idea to get a Clarisonic? Did you research online or?
My mom got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, nice. Did she research online or?
She definitely did. She always does research, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, yeah, with a gift. Do you prefer that to like a face cloth or a sponge?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as, so that's for method, but as far as like products go, do you have any like brands that you like to stick with or any holy grail products that you would recommend maybe?
I like Neutrogena because I've
Standard.
I like sensitive skin, so
Mm.
it's pretty like oil free and just like I don't know, does its job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do use the Mario Badescu like drying lotion. I love that
too.
stuff. It's really good.
Yeah.
Definitely those things I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the pimple pads.
Yes, the pimple pads are really good. I'm not really sure what they do, but they're like stickers.
I think they suck out the oil or something.
Yeah, those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's kind of it though.
Would you say you pay more attention to your like skincare regimen when you have a breakout, or do you like try to take good care overall?
I try to take good care overall, but that idea usually stems from like having a bad breakout, being like I need to be more careful,
Mm-hmm.
and then being more careful.
You said you had dry skin. Is that how you would categorize your skin, or is it like normal to dry, or?
Yeah, it's like dry, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of oily, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do
Somewhere
you
between.
change your products according to like season? Because you mentioned like city air, so I'm wondering.
Oh, no, but I probably should. It's probably a good idea because the seasons definitely change my skin. Like in the summer, I'm more oily, but in the winter, I'm more dry. So that's definitely a good idea, but I don't.
Would you say cost is a factor in your products? Like, do you believe in if you spend more on a product that you'll get better results, or are you cost?
Not necessarily.
Cautious?
Sometimes if it's like a really high-end product and has something like probably really nice in it, but my face wash is like $10 at CVS, so I don't really know if that's luxurious necessarily, but it works. So.
How about organic products? Are you interested in either for nutrition or beauty?
Like food-wise?
Either. Like, would you say you buy organically for your skin, or some people just don't buy organically for nutrition purposes? But
Oh no, like not really. I don't go out of my way to find it. If that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't really know what the difference is, so I don't care enough to even research it. So
I feel you.
yeah.
Let's see. How do you feel about the whole DIY skincare movement?
I think it's a dangerous game.
Interesting.
I feel like if you do it wrong, you're screwed.
Oh yeah.
But if you do it right, then it's probably really nice. I'm just not into doing that stuff.
Yeah, you're not into it. You'd rather
Yeah.
just like buy a product that you know works and like.
Yeah. Or pretty much works.
Mhm.
Sometimes, you know, those like strips, they like don't always work.
Yeah.
There's like poor strips. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's buyer beware for sure.
Mhm. Would you say you feel more comfortable purchasing a product if it's like from a brand you know well, or like do you look for highly rated products? How do you go about shopping?
I usually ask a friend what they use if they have similar skin, or I like ask my facialist when I see her.
So you do have a facialist.
Uh-huh.
Okay, tell me about that.
She basically like cleans my skin out as best she can.
Mm-hmm.
Gets all like the stuff out. It's
Okay.
gross. You know, she like squeezes it all out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she does like all these different masks and stuff. I don't
Nice.
know. She does a lot of different stuff, but my skin feels so nice after and clean.
Mm-hmm.
But I get really bad blackheads, so I have to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How often do you go to see her?
like when I'm home, like
Okay.
not that often.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once or twice a year.
Okay.
But
Would you recommend people to go to a facialist, or is it only on a case-by-case basis?
honestly, I do it more by case basis now.
Mhm.
When I was younger, it was worse because I think that was like puberty and like everything was
Yeah.
changing and everything. So now I don't go as much, but back then it was helpful. Now it's just like if there's a really bad situation
Mm-hmm.
going on. Yeah.
Do you have a dermatologist or no?
No, I don't have a dermatologist. I probably do, but like I don't go or actively like go.
Mm-hmm.
So
So as far as skincare goes, like, how do you feel about it? Like, it's not really. It sounds like maybe it's not really like key interest.
yeah, not really. It's more like I wash my face because you have to. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it gets gross. So that's kind of why I do it.
Mhm.
For hygiene purposes.
Yeah.
No, for like, I'm not trying to accomplish anything
Mhm.
or I don't know.
It's not like a pampering sesh or
Yeah.
anything.
No, not really.
Do you wear makeup at all?
Sometimes when I have bad breakouts, I do. Right now, I don't have any makeup on, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Hmm.
Also depends on the weather. If it's
Okay.
gonna be really hot out, I'm gonna sweat. I won't wear it because I'll sweat it all off.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of thing as well.
So you feel like weather impacts your skin?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sucks.
definitely. But I don't wear makeup all the time, but most days.
Hmm. Okay, well, any final thoughts or just anything you have to add?
No.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sophia.
You're welcome.
So for my skincare routine, or when purchasing skincare products specifically, I don't really look at a label. But that's just because I usually do research beforehand, especially with skincare because it tends to be more expensive than makeup. And sadly, I don't really care about what's in my makeup. I mean, I care about more so like what the company is doing, like if they're cruelty free or whatever. But being a student, I don't have the access to a lot of the funds that I wish I did in terms of the price that comes with like these more organic companies. But I usually have an idea of what's in it because that's what's going to be treating my specific problem. So like I have really bad redness and discoloration more than acne, I would say. So I usually get products that are soothing, and that happens to be natural products most of the time, like rose or aloe vera, which those are both like organic products. And I also worked for Clinique for a year or so, and in doing so, like I learned a lot about skincare in general and how to treat other people's skin, and I learned what was in Clinique's products. And Clinique actually tests on like 9,000 people before they put a product out, and they have to like say they were at 8,999, and then the 9,000th person had a like really bad reaction to something. they would scrap it and start over. So I really like appreciated that about Clinique. And so most of my skin products are Clinique. But that's just because I have a familiarity with that brand, because of where I worked. But I would say in the field, people do come to you with questions a lot about skincare, more than makeup. Whereas, because makeup, they almost have their mind set, or if it is, they don't really care about anything that's in the product. More so like the look of it, like if it's going to make their, like if it's the color, the correct color or whatever. But with skincare, like they really care about how it's going to address their problems. And I think a lot of skincare in the industry like doesn't really do that in a way that is like organic or good for the environment. But they might have really, really good branding. For instance, like Glossier. Like I know personally that has made me like break out, even though I have like sensitive skin, so I'm not the best to judge. But like they only have a offering of like 3 serums or whatever it is, and that's but that doesn't matter for them because they offer amazing branding and that's their strong suit. So I think each brand is different, and I don't know how off track I am, so I'm sorry, but it's just, I think every brand offers something different, and the way I personally shop is like price-based and what I previously know, and sometimes I'll watch a like YouTube video to see how it worked on somebody with a similar skin problem that I have, and then I tend to ask the person working there. Like I love to go to the counter or wherever it is to have them like address the problem, because I know personally you are supposed to be trained, at least like in these big department stores, you're supposed to be trained by your company about all your products, and you have a guidebook under like in the back if you aren't 100% sure. So if somebody asks a question about a product, like, oh, I have really bad inflammation, or I have like rosacea or whatever it is, like they should be able to address that just by looking in the back, like with almost no experience, and just looking at a book and understanding like, okay, these are probably the things that they should use. But like I said, I don't really look if it's like organic or not, which is probably terrible, but I don't really care as long as it works. Or the packaging is really pretty, like Glossier, for instance. So, yeah, I guess that's it.
I usually begin my facial routine by washing my face off with Bioderma. It's just a makeup remover and it's a moisturizer, so I use that. And then after using that, once a week I apply Aztec face mask, which is used out of like Adobe clay, and it removes like any blackheads or pimples, just cleans out my pores. And after removing that face mask, I apply a toner to close up my pores and to kind of like stretch out my face a bit. And then after that, I use a moisturizing cream or gel and wait for it to dry off. And then after, I apply Pond's night cream, and I do this nightly.
Okay, so as it's really loud right now. So do you guys have a skincare routine that you follow, either religiously or not religiously, maybe when you have a breakout?
I do, yeah. I would say that my routine, basically, I basically only do my skincare routine at night. In the morning, I kind of just stick to like a like a hot washcloth on my face. But I would say that my skincare routine at night is pretty much the same every night, yeah.
For me, I would say that it's pretty much the same, but it changes with the season. Like recently, when it's been getting colder, I feel like my skin is starting to get extremely dry, especially like around my lips and stuff. And the tip of my nose gets extremely dry for some reason. So like when I put makeup on, it flakes off. So I try to do more like exfoliating and moisturizing lately, and have been doing that more in the daytime than just at night. And then I try to do like some like overnight like masks and stuff.
What skin type, do you guys know what kind of skin type you have, or what skin type do you have?
I'm a pretty normal skin type. I don't really have like combination or like oily skin, I would say, or dry. It's kind of just pretty normal, but like Natalie said, it like changes with the seasons, definitely. So like I might need like a more heavy duty moisturizer in the winter, but in the summer it's kind of just normal, yeah.
I'd say that mine's like almost a sensitive type and pretty much normal or combination, but since I started like a couple months ago using or trying out a Retin-A cream, it's been like dry, so technically it's turned my skin into like a drier, so I have to buy products that are for dry skin.
So would you say you guys buy products seasonally?
Sometimes. I think I stick to my main products, but when it does come to a moisturizer or oils that I put on my face, I definitely like to change those up seasonally, yeah.
I'd say like for me, since I don't use moisturizer that much, because my skin's normally not dry except with the season change, that I don't buy it more than once a year or once every like year and 6 months or something, and it lasts a while. But yeah, I usually just use the same stuff pretty much year round. Sometimes I'll change between a few things just to like change my routine.
Let's see. Where do you guys, when looking for a new product, if you've run out of a product, where do you look for product recommendations? Are you recommended by friends, coworkers, or do you do online research? Do you follow YouTube gurus? Like, where do you find your product research, and what do you look for in a product?
I think it varies for me. I think a lot of the time I like to go back to the same brands that I use for other products. So let's say like I definitely like Kiehl's a lot. So if I buy their moisturizer and I like it, I'll probably go back and buy it again. But let's say I needed like something different, like I needed a spot treatment, then I'd maybe go to Kiehl's again just because I know that their formula works for me. So I don't know. I think it definitely depends. As for recommendations, I think that I definitely use like YouTube reviews, YouTube videos for sure, to kind of just see what other people are liking, and sometimes I'll try them just to see if it works out for me, but if it doesn't, then I kind of just stick to my main brands.
And for me, like normally if I'm looking for something else, I'll just type in, like I really like the Kate Somerville like Exfoliate face wash. So if I want something on that level, I'll type in people who buy this, what are they buying, or what is similar to this, or what is like on that level.
So it seems like you have brands that you're loyal to, and would you say you feel more comfortable buying within a brand as opposed to just trying new ones willy-nilly? And if you can, tell me some of the brands that you like to use and would recommend to a friend.
So as I said before, I definitely recommend Kiehl's. I think that their formula is really good, and it just feels natural to me. Like, to be honest, I'm not quite sure about the ingredients, but it definitely, I don't know, it works for my skin, so I've stuck to it. I like Neutrogena just for like getting things done. Basically, if I have a breakout, then I'll use one of their products. I like their, I think it's a grapefruit cleanser or something. I like that. I also like Glossier, and honestly, Trader Joe's has some really good skincare products. Yeah, so I use those a lot. But yeah, I definitely recommend. Do you mean like specific products?
Products or brands?
Yeah, I think those ones are like my go-tos for sure. Yeah.
For me, even though like I make a lot of my own skincare products, I love Kate Somerville, specifically the Exfoliate or the Eradicate, I think it is. It's like this cinnamon scrub that's really awesome. And I'm also recently a fan of Clinique's new skincare line that's like for different skin types. You kind of combine like a moisturizer and a toner depending on your skin type. I really like that. And there's this mask that I buy a lot online from this company called Lyraset. That's a Swedish company. It's a mud mask that's like mud from Sweden that's really good, so I buy those things a lot.
Would you say you care more about your skin when you're breaking out or in general? Because sometimes I know when there's a breakout, people tend to focus more on their skincare or what they're doing. How can I change it? How can I just get rid of this breakout right away? So would you say you're that kind of person, or do you just care about your skin in general? And
I would say I care about my skin in general. It's more of like a luxury for me to like go home at the end of the day and like use my favorite products and just like get my makeup off and just like, I don't know, I guess it's just like more of like a lifestyle thing for me, where it's like a luxury after I go home at the end of the day. And yeah, I think I just like to stick to it, because when a breakout does come along, I feel like I've like tried to do something to prevent it. Like, whereas maybe if you get a breakout, then you have to take the measures to like take care of it afterwards.
Can you repeat the question?
the question was, what was the question? Oh yeah, do you care about your skin in general, or do you find yourself only paying attention to skincare when you have a breakout?
Since I used to get really bad breakouts, I care about my skin in general now in terms of preventing breakouts, and I feel like I have to stick to a routine and care about my skin and put in time in order to avoid them.
Well, thank you guys for letting me interview you. Goodbye.